Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson and welcome. Yeah, today is going to be just a little different, that's for sure. And I am actually on my ride from The Villages on my way up to Philadelphia, and I'm inviting you along for the ride. And I figured, why not make a video, because I wasn't going to be able to get one out Sunday, or so I thought. But I figured, you know what? All I got to do is stop at a rest stop, put a camera up here, and I can sure as heck talk to you while I'm driving. And we're going to get to do some fun stuff, because today we are going to make a stop at Buc-ees. We're going to cover a lot of stuff. I'm going to introduce you to Buc-ees if you didn't know it, and tell you some cool stuff that's going to happen around the villages with Buc-ees. Also, this is the day after SantaCon, so I'm going to cover some stuff with SantaCon, some things that happened, some things that didn't happen, and what about next year. And also, I had a lot of people stop me there and talk about Carnivore diet, the diet that I'm on, that I lost 35 pounds so far. Also, one of the main reasons that I'm going up north, and that is for, pickleball. And we're going to talk about that, kind of cool things happening with that. And I don't know whether it's last but not least, is photography. A lot of you know that I used to have a gallery up in Pennsylvania, and that is all closed down because I'm bringing some of the last things down for something that's going to happen in the villages with my photography. Let's go ahead and do it, because the first stop is Buc-ees.
North Carolina 327 toward Marion, Myrtle Beach.
This is exit 170, and as you can see, a giant gas sign for Pilot right there. There's a Harley Davidson store, but gas right here is 275.9.
Use either lane to turn left on North Williston Road.
At Pilot, but there's usually a pretty big competition around here. You can see that sign down there says 285 for gas, and I saw 278 as I pulled in here. And there you go, there is Buc-ees. All right, an open pump. And we'll get to see exactly how much the gas is here. Like I said, this is kind of a cool stop here to get the pump, but the gas prices are $2.73. So that's pretty good. So it was $2.75, $2.78 before I actually got in here. And yeah, I haven't found it cheaper anywhere. But usually as you get closer to Buc-ees, the gas prices get a little cheaper. Here we are, I'll show you the front of the store, along with all the pumps real quick. But these are all the pumps, 2 rows of it. I think there's 200 and some pumps if you look at it, and in front of the thing, and that is a Buc-ees there. But inside, or on the outside, they've got things you'd never expect. Buc-ees ice, and notice the stuff isn't really that expensive. They don't tend to rip you off like a lot of the other places. So this is, that's kind of one thing I like. In fact, I'll show you what the price of water is in here, but they got just about everything you can imagine here. Even if you're missing it, a giant stuffed Buc-ee. And pretty cool place. And as you can see, it's kind of crazy in here, but you also get a very nice welcome every time you come in here. This is the brisket. We're going to come back and visit here, because this is right up my alley as far as the Carnivore thing goes. And I'll take you for a quick walk back behind here, but check this out. I feel like I'm at Hobby Lobby. Just pretty incredible. So usually, so that's what they start yelling when they bring out a bunch of new brisket pork out there. But anyway, this is the shopping area, and we're not going to make this too long, but you got to get a grasp of how big this thing is. And there is, last time I came here, I bought myself a pair of Buc-ees, I guess flannel, almost like pajamas type thing. But there's all kinds of stuff in here. In fact, I guess also if you want this kind of stuff, but there is just tons of Buc-ee items. And got to keep the little kitties out of this. Some nice belts. And of course, if I forget to show you these, there's a phone holder. There's Buc-ee's Nuggets, which I absolutely like, but it's an instant burst of sugar. But if you saw it earlier, this is kind of like the side door to come in. Glasses, clothes, sweatshirts, and just in case if you didn't see it, they just got tons of toys and stuff like that in here. Let's see, Clemson, it's pretty incredible, but we got Silent Night playing in the background. You got Buc-ee's this, and Buc-ee's that. Oops, and little kids Buc-ee's. And even littler kids Buc-ee's, and even tinier kids Buc-ee's. So I guess if you're a Buc-ee's fan, there's plenty of Buc-ee's items to buy in here. And then there's a pile of Buc-ee's right here. And if you're lucky enough, if you're lucky enough, you get to hang out with Buc-ee for a second. Thanks. Have a good holiday.
Before you eat, there we go.
Yep. We even got some stickers. How do you like that? Now, right around the corner, there's really fresh food, but there's also, you can buy it this way, beef jerky, but there's a whole counter here. It just goes all the way down that way. All kinds of beef jerky if you like, and if you want to order food, you can order some custom food right here like that. If you want fudge, there's a ton of fudge. It's very noisy in here, so I hope you can hear me. I'll tell you, it's kind of phenomenal. If you like sweets, no problem. They bake all this stuff themselves. I can't have that anymore. This is your normal kind of, I call it the 7-Eleven area with all the kind of junk food. All this stuff I'm not trying to eat now. But if you come up here and check out water, water is only 99 cents here. Things are not like super expensive. I am going to go, one more thing that's really cool here is the coffee. If you're going to get coffee, not only do they have a ton of coffee out here, but also they actually have real half and half and real cream. So you get kind of lucky, and no matter where you go, there's beaver nuggets everywhere. And they're kind of like a Cheeto with sugar on it, I guess is what it is. Obviously, I can't take you into the bathrooms, but the reason it is world famous is simply because it's really clean, but I can't film inside the bathroom. I am going to show you what I got, and this is the bucking big brisket chopped. So this is kind of like a chopped meat with extra meat. I'm going to show you what they look like here in a second in case you want to get them. I know you're saying that I got these sandwiches and I'm talking carnivore, but I guess this is part of the treat that, where I kind of check out. This is sliced brisket, and it has some barbecue sauce on it, so it's got a little bit of sugar and stuff like that. But this is, sometimes you just got to enjoy life a little bit and then, recover from it a couple days later. But while I'm thinking about it, they also have a dog park kind of area where you can walk the dogs over here. But now let's check out these sandwiches. This is the extra large chopped right here, and you can see there's a lot of meat on there, but there is definitely barbecue sauce on there. And then when I looked at this one, I'm betting you when they came up and they were making their sliced brisket, they probably could have done it without barbecue sauce. So that would have been a really much better option. I gotta admit, Buc-ees is a lot of fun. I enjoy going to Buc-ees, and I did kind of a cool experiment for my carnivore friends. Hang on a second, because we're gonna talk about SantaCon now. But when I went there, I took my glucose with my meter right before I ate that stuff, and then I went back and I had the brisket, and then after that I ate some Buc-ees nuggets. And I gotta wait a little while to see what happens here, because I gotta wait 2 hours afterwards. But anyway, let's talk about SantaCon right now. SantaCon, if you don't know it, and it's actually SantaCon South, because that's what we renamed it. Before we go anyplace else, and I know I can speak for Tim and Patty and myself on this one, we want to thank everybody so much for coming down and doing that. If you haven't seen the pictures, it's amazing, because Sawgrass was so full of Santa Clauses, all dressed up as Santa Claus. And obviously I don't have the pictures and ability to throw them up right now, but so many Santa Clauses down there. They were backed out all the way into past the bar area where the stage is, and past the bar area and out into the street. And everybody was dancing and hopping to the Leesburg Blues Brothers, which, if you've ever seen them before, you know, they put on quite the show. They got some live instruments they play, harmonica, trombone. They do the thing where you go daisy chain through the audience and all that kind of stuff. So it was really great. Once again, thanks to Sawgrass and Villages Entertainment for helping us make that happen. Really appreciate it. And then the golf cart parade went down to ERNE's. Luckily, a lot of people went down directly to Brownwood. And by the end of the night, although I had to leave to drive by the end of the night, I guess all of Brownwood was filled with Santa Clauses again also. But a big thanks. We got a note from Toys for Tots, and thank you to all the Santas, Mrs. Clauses, elves, and a few other assorted characters. You guys raised through your generosity almost $1,700 in checks and cash, plus they hadn't even gotten done counting all the toys that they got. So thank you so much, and thanks for making that a suggest. You made a lot of kids happy, and it just goes show the generosity of the Villages. So once again, thank you very much. Next year is December 14th, I believe. We've already decided, because it was such a big success. We're pretty sure that's going to be the day, so mark that on your calendars, December 14th. And as soon as we get a general plan for that, we will let you know. But talks are already underway. And all right, let's go on to the next subject, and that's we're going to talk a little bit about Carnivore, and you're going to be really surprised what the heck happened to my glucose meter after my little Buc-ees experiment. It's starting to rain right now where I'm driving. Unfortunately, I should have gotten new windshield wipers before I left. But I wanted to clue you in. You know, a lot of people ask me why I have this glucose meter, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I had to turn on the light here. I got it because I'm trying to learn what sugars and carbs do to my body. And I've done this experiment before, and if we go back to right when I ate the meat, the brisket, if I ate meat just like that with nothing on it, when I started this, my glucose in numbers was exactly 80. That's where I started when I got to Buc-ee's. I was at 80. And I went in and I had one, and I'll tell you what happened because I ate this whole bag, one little Buc-ee's nugget because they were giving them out for surprises. So I had that. And then I went in, walked around, I showed you guys the store, and then I picked up those two sandwiches. The one brisket that had just a itty bitty tiny barbecue sauce that they put on the bun, and then the other one, which was the chopped brisket, which was pretty much laced with barbecue sauce. And we know a lot of barbecue sauce, I don't know theirs for a fact, but has sugar in it. All right, when I did that, I'm going to snap a picture of this, and I'll try to put that in there when I'm telling you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, sorry about that. The rain stopped, but I want to get this done before it gets too dark to go do this. And now that I'm out of the rain, not really in traffic anymore, I will continue this. So what I did is I went and I had my brisket. Now normally when I eat brisket or I eat just plain old meat like that, I don't get that much of a spike. In fact, hardly anything at all. They'll stay in the upper 70s, 80s or so. But when I ate the brisket with the barbecue sauce and stuff like that, you can see it jumped up here, little over 100. And then the insulin kicks in and lowers that glucose, right? The sugar, that's what your insulin does. And that's that glucose. You see it jumped up to about 105. And a lot of that was because of the one little sugar Buc-ee nuggets that I ate. As a test thing, they were giving them away for free. I couldn't resist. And that pushes the glucose down. Sugar, basically, in essence, it's in my blood. It's pushing it back down. Now, what happens is I went and bought a bag of these. Now, these are Buc-ee's nuggets. And if you look in here, there are massive amounts of sugar in these things and massive amounts of carbohydrates. And I wanted to show you what happens to all my carnivore friends and all my friends that are eating things with sugar in it, and they think they're going to go, oh, well, this one little bag or whatever is not going to hurt me. This is what happens. Look at this glucose monitor, exactly what happened here. It literally jumped up, and I knew it was going to go because I've run these tests on myself before, up to, I think it went up to 185, if I remember correctly. And then as I approached that little over an hour, the more insulin kicks in. So my pancreas is pushing out the insulin, and that is basically shoving the glucose, the sugars, into my cells. It's opening up the door into my cells and allowing my cells to take on this sugar, glucose, as it were. And that's it. Now, if that wasn't working right, then you would see those glucose levels going higher and higher and higher. And that is where you run into problems. And that's the things that I've been kind of testing with this continuous glucose monitor. And to tell you the truth, it scared the bejeebies out of me. I don't want to get nailed by YouTube. The first time I saw it, one time when I ate this caramel corn or whatever, and basically what I did right now, and it went up to like 200 because I had never seen it that high on the glucose monitor, and making sure that it dropped down. Now the next thing you want to keep it from doing is you want to make sure that when you get this, it doesn't drop all the way down into that red zone totally and you bottom out. So that's what I've been doing, kind of monitoring it. But once you see exactly what's going on with this glucose monitor and what happens when you eat just one simple small bag of Buc-ee's nuggets, then you realize what you've been doing to your body, and for me, over the past 60 years. I mean, it's been crazy. I'm so thankful that my body's kept up with it. Now, if you get all this sugar in there, right, and your cells can't take the sugar anymore, and it's dumped off, and I guess we're going to dump it off to the liver now. Then what happens is it gets stored into your body, and guess what that's called? That is fat. So that's why you'll hear me say fat, when you eat fat, it doesn't equal fat. When you eat sugar and you eat carbohydrates, which in essence is you're basically eating sugar because your body turns it into sugars, that's how you get fat. Anyway, that's the little thing for the continuous glucose monitor and my carnivore friends, and you want to know why I'm trying to learn about my body, what spikes that, and what I can get away with, that type of thing. So let me look at my next thing right here. The next thing I'm going to talk about is pickleball. Here we go, pickleball. Yeah, this is one of the reasons that I'm going back up north. Well, I forgot about the other reason I'm going. I'll talk about both of them. One reason is I'm at a point in pickleball where I love pickleball. I mean, it's for those of you that don't play pickleball, I'll tell you a quick story. I was just talking to my cousin on the phone, which I'm going to watch the football game with here in a bit. I tried to get them to play pickleball, and I said, hey, it's really great. It's a lot of fun. It's not abusive to your body when you get older, and you play at any age, any mobility. It's great. Well, it took them a couple years to get started, but once they got their free memberships at the Y, they got started, and now they're kind of addicted to it, so that's kind of fun. But I've gotten to a point in my game that I want to get better, and especially since now that I've lost so much weight, I can feel myself moving around the court a lot better. And there I decided that I was going to get a pickleball machine because I felt like a lot of the shots that I was missing and the shots that I was not getting, that I was not taking advantage of, were things that I could practice, that I needed to practice over and over again. I mean, if you think about it, Michael Jordan, I'm not comparing myself to Michael Jordan, trust me. You know, when Michael Jordan went up to do this giant layup and the swish kind of thing, you know, way up in the air, Air Jordan, he wasn't thinking about that shot. He had done that so many times over and over and over again that it had become natural. So I started thinking that if I could get one of these machines and I could start over and over and over again, that it would help improve my game a lot. I'm at that point where I've kind of leveled off and I'm not improving. So I want to get a coach in the Villages, and I'm going up to pick up this machine. Now, it just so happens the company that has these machines are really close to where I live up in Pennsylvania. Kind of makes it fun. Got to make sure I'm going where I should be going here. And so I managed to get a hold of them on the phone, and they have a little pickleball court, not little, but it's a pickleball court, indoor pickleball court up there that they invited me to go play at, and they're going to actually allow me to kind of test out one of the machines out there. And if I decide to buy one, I'm going to do some videos about the machine, which is going to be a lot of fun. And if I do this, I'm going to try to work out something where if people buy them, they'll be able to get off of this video, they'll be able to get a discount. So that'd be kind of fun. But if I don't buy it, well, then I got to go play up there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I signed up for something in February for pickleball. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am single, so there's a singles group that's basically national, and a lot of people are flying into Daytona to play at Pictona, which is a large pickleball complex, and that's in February, so that'll be a lot of fun. I'll be reporting on that and let you know what's going on with that. I'm kind of excited, so stay tuned for my pickleball video with as far as the machine's called an ERNE, if you want to look it up on other YouTube things. And that's about it for pickleball. Now the next thing I want to go right into, because it's going to get too dark if I don't finish this. I just have a few more things up in Pennsylvania that I need to pack up and bring down. But in January, there is one of the photography clubs, groups that I belong to at the Villages, has a big show that they do where a lot of the photographers for those groups come in and they show their photography. So I'll be doing that at Eisenhower, and I'll give you the date. I think it's the 27th, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's the 7th, but anyway, it's in Jan. I guess I better figure it out. But I'm going to pick up the last few bits of my photography I have left over from the gallery. So you guys will be able to see those. I will give you an update on that. Now, I'm going to sign off here for a second while I get through Richmond, and I'll talk to you on the other side. I am through the traffic and rain is just about stopped. Hopefully that wasn't too loud on the last part of that video. And I think that's about it. I'm going to try to, it's actually Sunday at about 4 o'clock driving home. The game starts in just about 4 hours from now, and that's about when I should be rolling into Pennsylvania and hopefully can sit down and watch the game. But just out of curiosity, it's been not too long, and looking at my blood glucose is down to around 130 now, so that's in the green already and went from yellow to green, and that's what's supposed to happen, so I'm kind of happy with that. That was quite a little experiment, but you know, if you're somebody that's eating a lot of sugar and stuff like that, and when I say sugar, it doesn't have to be pure sugar like I was just eating then. You eat an apple, I don't know whether you realize it, but if you eat an apple compared to your basic Dunkin' donut, you're eating a lot more sugar in that apple than you are in the donut. Figure that one out. And that's exactly what happened when I went into Dr. Siwas's office. He showed me exactly how much more sugar I was eating in the apple. Anyway, it's getting dark, and I'm starting to get back into a little traffic again. I don't like doing this when there's traffic. It's not bad, but it's thinking of two things at once. So anyway, plus that, it's pretty dark out, and I will see you guys later, and hopefully go Birds, and they take it to the Cowboys. Maybe if I'm sitting there in the chair doing this video.
Police reported ahead.
Oh, there you go. There's another reason. I'm doing this video. I'll show you where I'm sitting. If not, I'll either see you back down in the Villages, or I'll see you back here on YouTube. Have a wonderful weekend. Go Birds.